and a groundbreaking study about what makes someone wise, how you can harness happiness and peace. In 2013, Dr. Laura Gabayan was misdiagnosed with an autoimmune disease. That diagnosis changed her life, forcing her to shift careers. She could no longer be an ER doctor. It also made her rethink life. She worked to better understand wisdom and what it means to be truly happy. That work culminating in the release of a new book, Common Wisdom, 8 Scientific Elements of a Meaningful Life, and it's out now. And we're lucky to have it in our hands tonight. World-renowned physician and researcher, Dr. Laura Gabayan. She's here with us. Good to have you. Thank you for being such an inspiration. This misdiagnosis, obviously, he said it changed your life. It impacted your speech, your mobility. That's one thing. You had to deal with that. What made you decide to write this book?
It's interesting because the very training I received to become a physician, excuse me if I slur my speech, but the training I received made me think, well, let me talk to these people. And they were like, no, what is it that you have? They were so ready to label. They were so ready to put you in a box. And then I was like, who thinks outside the box? And it was the wise. And then I looked into wisdom, and I'm like, well, it's only anecdotal and it's only subjective. All we know is in religions or famous people, random people say it, but no one really knows. And being a researcher, I knew how to study it, but I didn't know what it was. So I started looking into it. I realized that people at the age of 50 to 79 have wisdom, and that it's not selected based on race or gender, but it is based on location, where they're from. That's why I spoke with 60 people in North America, and these were common everyday people like librarians, teachers. You know, we had a CEO of many companies, and it was just a record producer, but it was people all over North America.
And then you sort of break down the traits, right? You put this into 8 different traits that different people have. Some people are good at other of these. Here they are: resilience, kindness, positivity, spirituality, and then we got 4 more: humility, tolerance, creativity, and curiosity. Why those? And how do you determine who has which one?
So we were a team of 3 people, and every interview we looked at, their online interviews, people got different traits, and so we used research skills, and we initially had about 20 or more, and then we collapsed them down to 8. And so, for example, positivity had humor in it, had gratitude in it as well. And so people who were very funny or people who were very grateful, they were part of positivity.
So out of the 60 people who you interviewed, just one had all 8 of these scientific elements. So this person theoretically is living a very meaningful life, and this person happened to teach wisdom himself, so he had a head start. But these 8 elements, for people who are watching, if you practice resilience, if you practice positivity, in other words, if you practice each one, then you too can live a more happy, meaningful life.
And that was my goal. My goal was, how do we make this more accessible to people? And by breaking it up to 8, I think you can say to yourself, I'm really good at this, and I'm not good at that, and kind of just decide what you're really special at and what needs help. And so by looking at the 8, you're kind of, like, for example, kindness, I'm from the Middle East, was not something I grew up with. It was not something I really respected. So it's something you can really kind of build in yourself.
So did that change you? Was that your biggest takeaway from this?
Someone asked me what was the most surprising, and I would say kindness, because I viewed it as weakness. I viewed it as something that was not respected, but yet these people, it was the second element, and these people really used it as something that was important in their lives. Kindness was not only how they acted, it was a way they lived their life. They were kind to themselves, kind to others. It was interesting.
Well, you chose a life of service, so I think you're inherently kind, and we're grateful. We didn't point out that you are local, too. You're Los Angeles.
Yes.
You were a former UCLA ER doctor.
I went to UCLA for everything.
I love it. Well, again, this book is called Common Wisdom, 8 Scientific Elements of a Meaningful Life. It is out now on Amazon and wherever books are sold.
Dr. Laura Gabayan, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you
A lot
very
of
much.
interesting things to think about as well.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.